pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Morning, everybody.
Morning. Hey, Dan.
All right.
I guess I'm up, huh?
Yep.
Make a motion, the Board of Commissioners to approve the July 11th, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
Second, roll call.
Mike.
Abstain?
Tony.
Yes. Okay, Jackie, come on up.
Morning.
Good morning.
I actually only have 2 resolutions, and
Been
they're.
slacking?
I've been very low maintenance for a couple of weeks.
Kind of scary.
Oh, maintenance.
Slacker.
I know sometimes.
I mean, from my perspective.
I'm going with the slacker, but go ahead.
So yeah, these are fairly simple resolutions, so unless the board has any questions.
I
I'll
do
have any
not.
comments.
Do not.
Okay.
In accordance with Section 305.30K of the Ohio Revised Code and this Board's Resolution 21-0396 and this Board's Resolution 21-0878, the Board of Commissioners acknowledges and approves the County Administrator's approval too. I'll make a motion to direct the Auditor's Office to pay and process the July 11th bills, ACH payments, wires, journal vouchers, and then and nows as applicable, contingent upon the verification of the reports as presented by the County Auditor and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
Second, roll call.
Mike.
Yes.
Tony.
Yes.
Make a motion to process the July 11th budget amendments as reviewed and recommended by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
Second, roll call.
Mike.
Yes.
Tony.
Yes.
Make a motion to close Fund 1132, COVID Emergency Supplement Probation.
Second, roll call.
Mike.
Yes.
Tony.
Yes.
Make a motion to transfer from Fund 1415, Child Welfare Special Levy Fund, to Fund 1410, Public Assistance Fund.
Second, roll call.
Mike.
Yes.
Tony.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jackie.
Janet, good morning.
Good morning.
I only have 5 resolutions and some project updates.
No, that's not bad.
See? You're reading them.
That's pretty nice.
I know.
We got
see?
slackers.
Glad to see you working. Thank you, Nick.
Uh-huh. I'm okay to be a slacker right now.
No,
Fine by
you
me.
deserve it.
Fine by
You
me.
worked so hard. Very, very hard. Thank you, sir. I'll put this,
Okay.
you got that? Okay.
Oh, did I make too many?
No, you gave me one. Okay.
All right, extra.
Fine.
Sorry. Okay, the administration building, the first elevator that we're working on is running a couple of weeks behind. They had, one of their gentlemen got injured, so I
Here?
saw that he was back today. No, not here.
Okay.
It wasn't here.
Okay.
It was good. So, but they're just a couple, but the good news is the interior has already shipped for the paneling and everything.
For all 3 of them?
For all 3 of them, so she said maybe we'll just be able to sneak it in there too, so they can redo the whole thing, but I
Yeah.
said, just let me know, cause I gotta go to the flooring, so.
Yep, yep.
Okay, on page 3, for the tax map area, if you recall, they're gonna do some little renovations, they'll kinda move down to the first floor for a little bit. The start date is tentatively August 12th, but we're gonna be in constant contact with Leslie, so she knows what's going on, cause she's gonna have to give some notice as well.
They're still in there, right? They haven't moved.
They haven't moved yet, no, we just found this date out yesterday, so.
Gotcha.
Yep, so, the annex building, the contractor's still waiting on the manufacturing for the railing. And he said, to be honest, they don't have enough people right at the moment, so they're still 2 weeks behind in manufacturing the railing
Okay.
that they ordered from. The replacement of the 3 exterior doors, if you guys have noticed, I don't know if you've seen around it, but they
Yep.
have been done.
Yep, nice.
We hope to do the punch list, it's not on here, but we're hoping to do the punch list, in 2 weeks for the annex building, for at least the contracting section of it that we paid for. R2K is actually over there working on infilling the one door and gonna start making that one room into 2 rooms, so they started today.
When's the estimated time?
I'm
Think
hoping,
it'd be good.
well, it just depends on, the Veteran Services had to open up some purchase orders, so we're kind of pushing them, get those POs out, cause the contractors won't start. We're waiting for one more purchase order from them, but we've started R2K. We sent them the PO yesterday, say,
Okay.
let's go, let's start going, so it doesn't put them, I would like to say September-ish,
Okay.
but until I know when
Maybe.
they start, I'm hoping, I keep my fingers crossed. So, okay, the replacement of the doors, that's gone. Juvenile court. They had a change of plans in the lobby. If you recall, when you go into the lobby, they were gonna bust through the, brick wall. They're
Yep.
not doing that anymore. So, when the contractors were in there, they did have a structural engineer come at the time that looked in there and
Mhm.
said, it should be fine, we'll put in some, steel beams and we should be okay. Now they're fearful, well, what's in the ground? Like, they don't know what's underneath it, cause they don't have any plans
They can't
existing.
do radar or anything like that?
They can't, because it's all solid right now. So they said, okay, they came up with a different game plan, keep the existing vestibule and entrance the way it is. They were gonna add a room, if you recall, they were gonna add 2 offices in that
Off to
lobby
the
area.
left side.
Yep, like when you walk in,
Walk
it's to
in
your
to the right
right,
side.
yeah.
Yep.
So they're gonna, that one office, they're going to actually move the officer in there, so he has more room, so it's not really gonna be an office. And then he'll have full access to go from that door right into the courtroom. With that all being said, the drawings have to be redrawn for that area and all that, but we're still actually gonna get a credit of $16,000 to $18,000 for this. So that's good. We are over budget on it already, though, if you recall, with our contingency.
So he's gonna be able to, he or she sitting there, is gonna be able to view the whole lobby now?
Yeah,
from where
when
they're
I was
putting
there,
it?
we even walked through it with the deputy, and he was fine with it.
Okay. So
so-
that was the problem, their back to was everybody.
Right, so his back will not be, it'll be
Everybody.
right into that kind of office area that they were gonna put in, and he'll be able to see everything then.
Is he in glass?
There's nothing, there's no
Okay,
door or
no
anything,
door or
there's gonna be
anything, okay.
nothing, he's just gonna be all exposed right there, it's kinda catered to him.
Mhm.
For his,
Right.
he'll have a desk there if he needs it, everything he needs will be right there,
Yeah.
so. Everybody was comfortable with it, I know there was some, how long is this gonna take? Once they get the building department approves everything, they said it'll probably be 5 weeks, and then they'll finally be out of there. But I think the building department has up to 3 weeks to approve plans, so. Okay, that was a lot on that one. Let's see here. What else do I have? Do I have anything else? Oh, I do. On page 7. The scaffolding is currently being built. If you've gone down there, it's like very crowded. They have all of the cones up. They started to build it around the riddle block building so that they can start the slate. So that'll be-
Estimated time for them to finish that?
They
slate?
gave me November. They
November?
gave me November,
So the
but
scaffolding's gonna be up now till November
yes.
or December?
Yeah, we have to work with the city on all of that, so.
Wow.
Yep, but they've been very good with us. The replacement of the carpet on the 3rd and 4th floor of the landing, they've done the 3rd and 4th floor, they did the stairs yesterday. They're hoping to be done by next Tuesday this is just for the carpeting.
Mhm.
But I sent you guys all pictures of
Pictures
the
of the
painting
paint.
because I was all excited, because it looks so different.
It does.
Yeah.
So, but they just finished the 4th floor, they're on the 3rd floor now, and they're starting to head down the stairwell a little bit, so it's just, it takes a lot of, taking all that border off and
Yep.
everything takes a lot of time. And that's all I have.
Awesome.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Make a motion, Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into an agreement with the Portage Job and Family Services and Goodwill Industries of GCEC for home parenting program for child and protective services.
Second, roll call?
Mike,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Make a motion, the Board of Commissioners accepts a proposal from John Wackerly Inspections LLC for providing professional services for the Portage County 2024 Annual Bridge Inspection Program.
Second, roll call?
Mike,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Make a motion, the Board of Commissioners accepts a request for proposal and awards contract for household hazardous waste collection program.
Second, roll call?
Mike,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Make a motion, the Board of Commissioners approves the plans, specifications, and estimate of cost, and setting the date and time for acceptance of bids for the construction of project RV-023-160, 2024 sanitary sewer maintenance program in Ravenna in the Portage County Regional Sewer District, Portage County, Ohio.
Second, roll call?
Mike,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Make a motion, the Board of Commissioners agrees to ratify the plan, specifications, estimate of costs and boundaries of the assessment district, determining to proceed with the construction of the improvement project number RV-017-080 Chin Regional Sewer Improvements and Portage County Sewer Improvements in the Portage County Sewer District, Ravenna Township, and advertise for bids.
Second, roll call?
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes. Thanks,
That's
Shannon.
it. See,
That's
that
it.
wasn't bad.
That's short and sweet.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Sir Dan, morning.
Good morning. Alrighty, this should be fairly straightforward. We're just looking for some approval. Northeast Ohio Four-County Regional Planning and Development Organization, known as NEFCO. They have a map, Clean Water Plan map, or also known as the 208 map. Generally speaking, we're just trying to make some updates, some revisions, and reflect what the current sewer availability within that map actually is versus, you know, what we had prior to that. It's a fairly extensive process. You know, once it's been approved, then we go ahead and send it to all the trustees in the surrounding communities. And then there's a public period or public comment period for about 30 days for any residents that might, you know, have any objections to the way that the map has been drawn. That once that process is done, then we can go ahead and update this map. So
Okay.
it's that's it.
All right, I'll make a motion. The Board of Commissioners authorizes Commissioner Anthony J. Belamente, President of the Board, to sign the NEFCO 2024 annual update to the 208 Plan Map Proposal Levy Wastewater Perception Corrections Response Form as prepared by the Portage County Water Resources Department, selecting the option, no option, to the proposed revision.
Second, roll call?
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
County Administrator, good morning.
I'm requesting an executive session, please.
I make a motion in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code, Section 121-22G4. The Board of Commissioners move into executive session, preparing for, conducting, or reviewing negotiations or bargaining sessions with public employees concerning their compensation or other terms and conditions of their employment.
Second, roll call?
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes. Okay, we're gonna be about 10 minutes and we'll ask everybody to step out and then we'll reconvene with the board.
We get to somebody get this for comments later
Yes,
on?
and we're gonna do that early today, but this will be the last time. Public comment is normally at 11, so we'll do that after we finish today. Okay, we will come out of executive session and go back into the Board of Commissioners.
Make a motion.
Second?
Mike,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes,
is there any action?
no action. All right. If you do miscellaneous, Mike?
I'll make a motion, the Board of Commissioners acknowledges receipt of the Portage County RLF balance sheet dated June 30th, 2024, as presented by the Neighborhood Development Services.
Second, roll call?
Mike,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
I'll make a motion, the Board of Commissioners acknowledges receipt of the kennel disposition report and intake report for July 1, 2024 through July 7, 2024, as presented by our Chief Dog Warden, David McIntyre.
Second, roll call?
Mike,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
I'll make a motion, the Board of Commissioners acknowledges the receipt of the July 15th, 2024 certification of the county auditor that the total appropriations from each fund do exceed the official estimate of resources as presented by the county auditor's office.
Second, roll call?
Mike,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Make a motion to authorize the issuance of a county procurement card to be held in the name of the Portage County Domestic Relations Court and also being issued in the name of Judge Paula C. Giletto, be used for work-related expenses in accordance with Section 301.29 of the Ohio Revised Code and the Portage County Procurement Card Policy for Fund 0550.
Second, roll call?
Mike,
Second. Yes. Third.
Yes. All right, we're gonna have, we'll do public comment. We have, every person that's gonna speak has 5 minutes, so who would like to go first? And if you could identify yourself and you come on up and tell us who you are, what your address is, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Morning, Danny Coombs, 6385 Wall Street. Appreciate the time. First question, sewer project timeline still on schedule, I assume?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Status of request to add water. We talked
To add water?
We talked to our county, or our local commissioner in a meeting
What
that we
local
had.
commissioner?
Trustee.
Trustee,
Trustees,
sorry, yes.
okay.
Vince Coya.
Okay.
And Mr. Kennedy was also at the meeting about adding water to the project. Just wondered if you've heard about it, discussed it, status of that.
I haven't heard anybody say anything. Have you heard anything? To add water to the project rather than sewer?
No, both, not,
You would like both.
You
is what
like
I'm hearing
both.
him say.
Right.
You want to add water to the sewer?
That
right,
was-
rather than come back at a later date, tear everything
Correct.
back up again.
No, I haven't. Have you heard? I haven't heard anything.
Especially since the EPA said there's a problem with the groundwater. If we're drinking it, yeah, we mitigate the sewer problem, but that doesn't fix the problem.
Yeah, we're moving along with what we were ordered to
Yeah.
by the state.
Yes, and that's, the cost of what you have that's nobody's that thrilled about does not include water.
Understood.
Okay, so we had checked. I hadn't heard anybody inquire about that.
Okay, other than additional funds found, when will we know the actual costs?
Any idea, Michelle?
No, because we are still trying to get grants. But they will do, they're doing the best that they possibly can, and what I will do, if you give me your contact information, we will reach out to you. And, when we have a final number, we will absolutely get
And
that over to you.
he just, I'm getting ready to sign another grant, that they're looking for.
Connection vendors, so in other words, the connection from the street to the home. We're having difficulty finding vendors. Any assistance that can be offered there, people aren't calling us back. Again, understanding we're a couple years out, but there's gonna be a backlog of,
Yeah.
everybody trying to connect at the same time.
I'd heard there's a couple local plumbers that were thrilled to hear that this was gonna go. No? Okay,
Not what we're hearing.
okay.
Any idea what the timeline is for the tax assessment that's coming? That was also brought up in our meeting by Vince and Mr. Kennedy, that there's a county-wide tax assessment coming. Any idea of the timeline?
I've heard that too, and I have not heard of the timeline.
They're, I believe, revaluing.
The whole state.
They're
is-
Revalued,
Yeah.
you mean, of the
year,
properties?
assessing
Yeah.
it next year.
And
That'd be
that-
an auditor's question.
Yeah, and I thought the state had said there's really not gonna be that much of a difference. It's supposed to be very similar, the way, what they're calculating, so that's what I've been, actually, I just had a discussion with somebody the other day, and that those numbers aren't, cause I live in Aurora and property taxes are, whew.
Okay, no further questions, thank you.
Okay, thank you,
Thank you
sir.
very much.
All right. Who's next?
I've got a couple questions. So I was here last, I'm Paul Highland. I live on 6388 Roselawn Avenue in Ravenna Township. I had a couple questions last week. I wasn't sure what the status was. Dan Blakely actually got back to me on a couple of things, but not the standards for how to put in a private pump station, I think is what they're called, for the force main system.
I
So
haven't
it's
heard
still,
either.
yeah, so it's still an open issue.
Yeah, I think that'll be an open issue for a while. That was just last week
Okay,
that you asked that question.
okay,
Yeah.
so, I guess one of the questions is, did you approve the project, or is that still on the agenda? to be-
Didn't we just approve that, the resolution?
We are obligated to approve, that's
Yeah,
correct.
yeah,
We were
yeah.
told it has to.
Yeah.
It's not really up to us anymore.
Yeah, it's court order, so it is.
EPA.
So you're gonna
health
approve it
department.
the way it is?
Yes.
That's
Yep.
my understanding.
Yes, sir. Yep.
All right, that's, so the appeal process, if I wanted to appeal this, and our intention to appeal
Mhm.
is basically what I understand I would have to
Mhm.
do at this point. Do I give a letter to the clerks out front, or what's the process here?
Any idea?
Are you making a public records request?
No, he wants to appeal
wants
the
to appeal.
process.
Not the process, just, issues I brought up. in
You brought
section
up an
letter.
issue, you have 3 separate people, you want to go down to 2.
Right, yeah.
And that, you would have to go through the process, I think, of the county auditor's office to change that. You're listed, and I've checked on that, you're listed as a 3-house dwelling.
Sure.
So you would have to petition either the courts or to be able to, auditor's office.
You're wanting to change the way your home or property is currently,
No, I wanna
listed.
change the way, I wanna contest the way that the benefit units were assigned
Yeah.
to the
But
travelers.
didn't you,
Then that would be
you
the
request that before? You had 3 benefit units? Did you set that? That's where you're listed in the auditor's office, as a benefit of 3 separate dwellings, and you wanna go down to 2.
No, that's not what I was saying. I was saying in this project,
Mhm.
they assign benefit units
Correct.
based on parcels. And then
Correct.
they also base it on, for a triplex,
Mhm.
they'll assign you 3 benefit
Right.
units. So it has nothing to do with how it's listed in the auditor's office.
so you would like to appeal the process in which the water department is involved?
Right.
He wants to go to 2 versus 3.
Okay, so what
Two
we can do,
benefit
we
right.
can't make that decision right now anyway, so I would say type your letter, send it, you can send it to the clerk and we can move it on for you,
Okay,
out to the
okay.
water department, absolutely.
Good deal.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I
Alright,
have
thank
right
you.
now.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Is there
Sir?
anyone else? Is there anyone else? Yes, sir. Come on up. We're asking you to come forward so we get your beard up on camera.
My name is Ray McDaniel. I live 3210 Brady Lake Road.
Yep, thank you, sir.
I've lived in that house for 34 years. And in 1991, I had my septic system upgraded. Not because I was told to or because I had to, but because my neighbor, which is a very good friend of mine I worked with in my youth. And we had some standing water. Well, I found out it wasn't really from the septic, it was from my downspouts from the house. But I went ahead and had my septic system upgraded. And had it put in. It was put in by Ray Murdoch. And at that time, he came out, put the new system in. The county came out and inspected it, approved it, and everything was good. Now here we are, and we're talking a lot of money for retired people who are on fixed income. I'm on the south side of Brady Lake Road, and everything to me, and I might sound nasty, but everything rolls downhill. how am I gonna go,
I've heard that.
why am I with, and not just myself, but there's other people on that section through there that they've got new septic systems that have been put in recently, and houses that have been rebuilt and had additions put in and inspected and improved. And now we're gonna be, assessed all this money. Now, I'm not opposed to the sewer. I'm opposed to the idea that if I have a working system and it's not causing any problems, and why are we being forced to tie into it? If you wanna run the system, I got no problem with that. And I don't even wanna pay for it, because I don't feel we're gonna have to pay for something that should have been done probably 40, 50 years ago.
Longer.
Yeah. Not blaming anybody up here,
Yeah.
because
No.
you're around my age, you know what's been going on.
He is, sir.
He's not, he's young, he's a teenager. Congratulations.
Thank you.
But the thing that is stuck in a lot of the township, that end of it, it's stuck in their craw is, this is something that's been going on, and it's not
Since
going
we
to
were
go
little
away
boys.
until
Yes, sir.
and we're basically being held with a gun to our head and said, you're gonna do it regardless. And I understand laws, I whatever they tell me to do, I'm gonna do it within the best of my ability without getting myself put in jail. But on the other hand, we're all on fixed incomes. There's, yes, there are a few young people coming in,
Yeah.
but we're
Let me
being,
respond to you.
okay.
And I know what I'm gonna say isn't gonna make anything all better, but I just want you to understand that my daughter lives in another county over from us. She was having a failed septic, and I went over and I noticed there was water in the leach field and all, and I said, you gotta replace this. They're gonna tell you to anyway, you're gonna have to replace this. So she put in that new infrared system, the $30,000 unit that you're supposed to be able to drink the residual
Have one next
afterwards.
door.
Not me, but they say. So she went ahead and did it. She did that right after the thaw from last winter. And they just got notification that sewer's coming through, okay? They won't let her utilize her system. She has to tie into the septic, or to the sewer. I wanna be really clear when I say this. We were handed this. And when you come up, and I appreciate each and every one of you, and the phone calls that I've received, and the emails and the letters, I really do. I like hearing from you, because it tells me what's going through your mind and what you're thinking. When our health department did what they did over the years, and then turned it over to the Ohio EPA, the Ohio EPA then said to us, you will, under court order, make this happen. So we started. I mean, not me personally, but our water resource person, and I think we got almost $7 million in grant, if I'm not mistaken. You're shaking your head no.
That's not enough.
Well, I get you.
We're still working.
No, I get you,
Still trying to get
but
it.
it's 7, I think it's 7.4, more than we had.
That's impressive. It is.
And they're working for you, and every one of you. Do I feel bad? You're damn right I do. I feel like crap over it. And I've talked to people from your development that call me all the time, and I'm free to take the phone calls. But our voice at this board, where we sit, is not gonna change. We are out of the mix, and we are helping to get funding so that it doesn't cost you as much. Your position is with the Ohio EPA. They are over us. Obviously, they told us what we had to do. And I contacted our health department because I was not happy they weren't at our meeting that we had at the high school. Not saying that they were the cause or they're the problem, but like us, we were involved. And there isn't anything I can make or say to make you feel any better. I wouldn't want to be in a situation myself. I get it. I get it. And if there was a fraction of anything anybody said to make it better, I'm in. But at this point in time, we're under a state law direction. We have no control. And so I feel you. I feel you.
Well, my next question was that, because my parents own a house down on Bridge Street, they're no longer with us, but the house was sold, my sister took it over. And they ran county sewer then. It was a $5,000 deal where if you didn't pay nothing
Right.
until you sold the property.
Sure.
Okay, so why wasn't that option given to, I mean, I understand it's a big project, you're talking a great deal of people, but why wasn't that option brought forth and discussed, not with you,
Right.
but with
Right.
the EPA or whoever, the powers that be? Because look, I'm not the smartest man
Nor am
in the
I.
world, but I do know I'm getting screwed.
Yeah, nor am I.
And I feel I'm getting screwed, and there's people that have been there and come and gone. Had they known there was no disclosure on any of this ever, I've not found any, and everybody I've talked to, when you buy the property, why was that not in the disclosure? Because I know at that time there was no disclosure act. Now there is.
Yeah.
But even with the act now, people still, let's sweep it under the table.
Yeah.
I think that, and I'm not blaming any of the people here because you weren't there. But somebody's got to be held accountable. And it's not us. And now we're going to be reassessed. I mean, my property tax already shot up.
Well, that's the state.
That's
doing
another
the
issue.
reassessment.
I get
That's
that. I
a-
understand that.
Yeah. We're all in the same rowboat in that.
I get that. But to have the additional on top of it with this,
Well, if you look at the big picture, you had residents in that development that made complaints. They
For
filed,
decades.
they made and filed complaints with our health department. Our health department did what was required, and they turned it over to the EPA. And
4
by
years
that,
too late.
yep, the EPA did their investigation and said, violation, this needs done and needs done as soon as possible. And that's what we're falling under. I'm not going to jail because I didn't,
No, I don't want you to go.
Although-
I don't want anybody to go to jail.
although they probably eat better than I do, but
I don't know.
We're gonna end your 5 minutes. It's been 6.
Okay.
All right,
thanks for coming in.
Yes, sir.
I just had a comment on the EPA
Who you,
thing.
could you please say your name, sir?
Gary Hogan. I didn't sign up.
Hogan.
The EPA was notified of this 20-some years ago,
Correct.
and they basically told our neighborhood to pound salt,
Correct.
okay? There should be accountability. The only reason they panicked is they found out all this sewage is going into the Cuyahoga River, which is going into the Akron Water Works. Prior to that, they didn't care. The EPA even told me, we're not worried about that. That's individual homes and so forth like that. That's something you do locally.
Mhm.
Why? I mean, if it was known back in the 60s
At least.
and people were given permission to discharge sewage off property into what was called a sewer line, which ends in a field.
Cul-de-sac, yeah.
No, a field.
Yep.
Field, yeah, swale.
It runs right next to my house, and then once it gets into a field, it's done. And it's raw sewage,
It's a
and it
green
never
field.
freezes. I wish you guys could see that. I finally had Vince come for the first time in years, and he walked back there and looked at it and says, I can't believe this. I said, Vince, I've been fighting this since the 80s, when I built the house. It's just, I feel bad for all these people that didn't even know, bought homes.
That would
You
be
can
me.
dye test,
Yeah.
you can dye test all you want to, 3 streets up, because it comes out on my property, 3 blocks down.
you're preaching to the choir. We all
I-
we all get this.
I know it's not you
Yeah,
guys.
this is live stream, so everybody else gets to hear that.
Mhm.
And I've asked the same question. 2018, I was at that meeting they had at the high school back then, and everybody was saying exactly what you're saying now. I still ask the same questions. And how could you let this go for 50, 60, 70 years with knowledge of it?
And yet, who's gonna pay for it?
People that live there.
Us.
Yep.
And-
For
and the
mistakes
unknown
made,
that didn't know.
Not by you,
Yeah,
not by you
I
people.
bought my house about 10 years ago. There was no disclosure.
Nobody
nothing.
ever said anything.
No, I paid, my $1,500 for a home inspection and septic inspection and did all my due diligence there before and
But nobody
nothing.
told you what was going around.
No.
Yeah. And that
And
would
now
be-
I'm 2 benefit units,
Mhm.
single family home, 1 piece of property. That's what I don't understand, how they assess some of this. My property's larger, but there's one house,
That is something that you can appeal to go to one
Right.
unit.
But they said that, who do I appeal to?
I think you
Because
start-
they said they can't make the judgment on what's a buildable lot and what isn't. That's not part of their program, they're not able to make the judgment on that.
Isn't it the auditor's office would go appeal to the auditor's
Well, I think
office?
we would start with water resources.
Resources, and if he said they
No, it's
can't do anything,
Specific to.
yeah.
Right.
The
So-
auditor's
so
office,
how much
the
money is
property-
that gonna cost me
have,
to appeal?
have no idea. Less than it's sewer.
Well, a letter to the department. would
Nothing.
be-
Obviously.
No, it's
That's
not.
I don't think
No.
so.
But
If you
Won't cost
appeal,
you.
yeah, you're not going to court or anything.
Yeah.
But can they appeal that you have 2 lots, I'm gonna have 1, I'm never gonna build on that lot, I just have 2, would be the way that you're going.
So
I
I
don't,
can get this appeal process through and
I would
not
start-
before the completion of the sewer project?
I can't,
Oh, I would think.
it shouldn't take that
Send-
long,
send
a
a
yes or
letter.
no.
And then however many of us assess these many properties as, reducing the amount of benefit units,
So that-
then everybody else is.
The second gentleman that spoke is he's got 3 units the way it's listed now, and he wants to go to 2.
Right.
Cause he has, I think, what I've been told, you have 3 dwellings on in that one property.
A little different. He's got 2 parcels.
I know that,
Okay.
so it's the same process, he wants to, you have to go through the same people.
process, yeah.
The same process I wanna appeal that. I wanna have, I don't want two properties, I'd like to combine them with 1.
Well, you said we go through water resource first.
So that's your first step, right, so that they're aware of it, and they are far more knowledgeable than we are, they do this every day, right? And then they can give you the exact, reasoning as to why it was done the way it was done, or maybe they don't
Because it's
know
not
why it was
clear.
done.
They say 400 gallons per whatever per.
Yeah. And then I would check with the
What if
auditor's
there's only
office.
one home on the property,
Right.
Yeah,
one
but
single
start there
family?
first, so that they're aware of it, and they can, everything's a case-by-case basis. But what I can tell you is, they will work with you and talk with you and either explain why it's done that way, or change it. I
Right.
can't promise either way, other than that they will talk
Yeah.
with you.
And the only person that has the taxes, you've got 2 properties, is the auditor's office. So I would check with both of them.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, if there's anything else we come before the Board of Commissioners, we will recess till 11 o'clock. Okay, thank you. Thank you guys for coming in, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. You can take her, we don't have the contact for water, take
Okay, we'll come out of recess. Is there anything else to come before the board?
No, sir.
Is there any other public comment?
No, not that I am aware, no.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Second?
Mike,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.